That is Over You by Chet Faker here on 98.5 WNUW. That's right. My name is Owen, and I'm here with Rel on this lovely Friday. It's still chilly out there, but the sun is shining. Rel, how you doing so far?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for asking. I wanted to ask how you were doing as well, but can't complain on this lovely Friday. Not a big fan of the snow. I can't lie about that, but besides that, everything's going smooth this semester.
Yeah, man, you bet. I'm feeling pretty good. I've been walking around with my coat on. I've been even doing the hat a little bit recently. That's because it's been that cold out there. The snow has been in the same spots on campus that it was in on pretty much Tuesday when I got here. Some of the walkways are clear finally, but man, there are some mountains out there. Like if we look even just like behind us here in the studio, they're probably going to be there for weeks. I mean, they're piled up, and it's not getting any warmer.
I don't know if the snow will get picked up by like late February, early March, kind of like it'll take a while.
Remind everyone where home is for you.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Like, where are you coming from? Like, off campus, where you living?
Oh, I live currently Sharon Hill right now. That's like Delaware County area.
You get hit hard with the snow as well, same thing?
Yeah, basically same thing. It's only about like 25 minutes from here. So, yeah.
Did you have to do much shoveling?
Well, I stayed on campus, and I don't have my car right now, so luckily, I guess I didn't.
Yeah, so
but
you
did have to shovel a little bit of someone else's car, but
okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you did some trudging. You were working through the snow a little bit, but you didn't have to shovel that person's car. That was nice of you to do.
Yeah.
Man, that was not. Look at that, man. Rel helping out somebody else. Somebody else needed help. Was it a friend? Was it a lady, perhaps? What was the situation there, Rel?
Yeah, definitely a lady.
It definitely was a lady. There you go. So he's being chivalrous. He saw there was snow in the car, so why not? Why not help out? Good man. Yeah, I've been trying to stay warm on my way to and from classes. That's for sure. I just came from a sports reporting class, which has been pretty interesting thus far. But we were talking about a lot of major sports events that have happened in the sports world, past and present. So to kick it off today, we are going to start pretty easy. I know it was a little while ago now, but I wanted to ask you your thoughts on the Indiana situation. I kind of hinted at it on my show last week. Not really, but I basically said that I think it's awesome what the program has done. I think it's both good and bad for college football, the whole transfer portal deal. But we've seen the good, bad, the ugly, and now the underdog with this whole NIL thing.
Yeah.
Right? So I wanted to definitely ask you your thoughts on Indiana, your thoughts on Coach Cignetti, and what do you think of this kid, Fernando Mendoza?
Yeah, well, I'll start with Coach. I think he's already a living legend, to do what he's done in Indiana. Indiana is what we're talking about here. He made the playoffs, granted, 12-team playoffs. Would his teams be making playoffs in a different era? That would be another subject for another day. But he's made the playoffs, and then he won a national championships. I don't look too much into the bets, but I know if you picked Indiana to win the championship, that would win you a lot.
Way back then, for sure.
That was not commonplace, and people didn't think like that. People didn't think Indiana were contenders until Coach Cignetti got there. So definitely want to shout him out. And with that being said, I think this is one of the greatest championships in college football history. With everything considered, huge underdog. No one expected this. Don't have no 5 stars on the roster at all. No 5 stars.
Not one.
Not
folks.
one. And, some people will look to, and I think you have to, the transfer portal, like you mentioned, their average starter was over 22 years old, closer to 23. So they had a lot of, transfers and experience.
A lot of experience.
So, and that's kind of what's, you could argue, was ruining college football, like you were mentioning. If a coach, okay, they have the decision. They had this freshman or this, redshirt freshman sophomore guy who hasn't really played before, or I can go get this guy who's done it at this level for 3 or 4 years. I know exactly what I'm getting. They're going to go with that guy.
And they're already developed too.
Exactly.
You mentioned these guys are 22. Some of the guys that we saw in the Indiana secondary.
Yeah.
They were making plays all year. They were huge. They look
Literally.
They look NFL ready.
Grown
the guys
into
at,
their bodies.
The guys at the second level, the safeties were massive, and they came up big in that national championship game. So this kid Mendoza, he's looking like he's gonna be shoveled straight to the Las Vegas Raiders, which is not the best place to be if you're a young guy. However, he seems like he has the personality to be not just an NFL star, maybe even a TV star. Every interview, he's smiling, he's doing his lines, he's looking at every camera. So I wanted to ask you, obviously we know he's got the social thing down. He seems pretty confident. Ability-wise, do you see Fernando Mendoza succeeding similarly to how he did at Indiana, just, rinsing the competition, not having to throw as much, using his legs a little bit, do you see him doing that same thing in the NFL or?
Yeah, well, so when I look at these quarterbacks coming out of college, I look at talent for sure, the God-given abilities, and also the size, strength, a lot of guys want their quarterbacks over 6'4", 6'5", certain height, certain arm, but I think what Mendoza has, what he may lack in the athleticism or the height or something, is just football IQ, toughness. He's seen everything by this point. He's experienced.
He's definitely experienced.
He's definitely just came off a national championship, and he had to make a lot of big plays, not only in that game but all year long. And it's the little plays, the smart plays, keeping the drives alive. Not gambling, not being loose with the ball. Like those things matter, and I do think he has NFL talent, and he is ready now. The Las Vegas Raiders, that's a situation. I would like to see. Can they
protect them?
I would like to see who their coach will be. Did they hire one yet?
I can bring you that in just a moment.
Because Pete Carroll, I used to love the guy. The philosophy is just he still lives in the 2000s. Russell Wilson's my favorite player of all time, and I feel like he took away some MVPs from Russell Wilson just trying to run the ball over and over again. Not during the Legion of Boom era, more so like 2017 to 2021. That's when Russell Wilson was having his best years, and he wasn't even throwing that much. So not even to bring it to Russell Wilson, but Pete Carroll philosophies are a little old. I think that also hindered Geno, who also was just getting older as well. He had a horrible year.
And I mentioned protection. They have one of the worst, if not the worst, offensive lines.
Absolutely.
In football. You'd hate to see Mendoza getting thrown into the fire. I would almost think that they would be better off trading back and trying to work something out with a team where they can get some other picks and pick a lineman.
That might not be bad, but getting a quarterback matched with we still believe Ashton Genty has a lot of talent. Like, the talent was on board all there. And then Brock Bowers with Kelsey maybe on the edge of retirement. Kittle's in his 30s. Mark Andrews in his 30s. Who's to say Brock Bowers isn't the top guy right now?
Oh, dude, he very well could be.
He top 3, you know what I mean?
When he's getting the targets, he's producing. They have a great young core in those guys, but man, their defense, specifically that secondary, very poor, and their offensive line is yucky. So it looks like Mendoza's the favorite, man. He's like minus $1 million on pretty much all the books. So if he does get sent there, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens if he does get paired up with a head coach, if they have one by then, because I'm looking here, you're right, Rel, they don't have one yet. It says the coach
think they're gonna need an offensive guy. I don't think working on the defense with a young quarterback should be their number one thing.
It looks like
right
their
now.
backup plan is a defensive guy from the Panthers, actually, but
and then the Panthers, were they like these defensive guys? I respect them a lot. But I also respect the offensive guys. I think, like, when it comes to pairing with a young quarterback, though, I would lean the offensive guy just so he can develop. And they develop faster that way as well.
Most definitely. The Eagles just made their move with number 5 in 5 years. Mm-hmm. Sean Mannion? Is that true? I feel like I've read that somewhere.
Yeah.
The fifth coordinator in 5 years. Now, that's a lot. They're running through them like a person with cats on a busy street.
It's like every time their offense is just okay, we can get somebody else. Then when they have a great year, he's getting another job. So it is kind of unfortunate for Hurts. This is his, he's never had the same coordinator for more than 1 year. People got to take that in consideration. I feel like that's pretty difficult. And he still goes out there, performs, hasn't missed the playoffs yet. So
that's exactly what I was going to say. You're talking about Mendoza trying to get an offensive-minded guy in there. Hurts has had his fair share of offensive-minded guys, and he seems to come out and make it work still. But man, that's a good thought there, because the quarterback comparison between Hurts and the guys that are still in the playoffs, it keeps on popping up, and I keep thinking, I wonder who's going to have the dog gene, because you can say, oh, Hurts has better or worse stats than Drake May or whatever, even though he's never really done it in the playoffs. You can say Hurts has had better or worse stats than Sam Darnold in the clutch. He's like a regular season merchant. But honestly, man, it's it, I know it. Anybody that's an Eagles fan or, say, a Chiefs fan who saw it with Mahomes when he had the fire in his eye, it comes down to the dog. Who's gonna be harder? Who's gonna fight harder in that Super Bowl with those two quarterbacks? I think that's what it comes down to. We know that Mendoza has the dog. He showed that he has it. He just needs all the pieces.
Yeah, I'm still torn on that decision for the Super Bowl. I'm torn. I think
I don't know what to
if I'm using my mind, it says Seattle, but if I'm using everything else around it, and this glorious New England franchise, and the NFL wants New England back, one of their bigger markets, young quarterback, Sam's, even though he's solidly young, Drake Mays, he's second year, they want him to be a future guy,
Yeah, I think
I could just see the Patriots winning as well, because their defense has played well. We haven't got that amazing Drake May playoff game yet, which also makes me think, is he due for one in the playoffs? Hear me out. The Super Bowl will also be played, if I'm not mistaken, in Santa Clara, which will in turn lead to the best weather the Patriots will have played in all playoffs.
Come on now.
Like, I think this might be a high-scoring playoff game, and we've seen what Seattle could do. They're up for the challenge. So I think if the Patriots win this, I don't think it will be low-scoring. I think it will be like, you force Sam Darnold to play Superman and he makes a mistake. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be one of those high-scoring kind of games, honestly. And I don't know who's going to win yet.
That's a very, very valid point. If Darnold is forced to play Superman, now you mentioned high-scoring. It's at 45.5 right now. Pretty much all the games been hovering right around there. But when it opened, New England and Seattle were a lot closer than they are now. They got Seattle minus 230 as of an hour ago, and they got New England plus 190. Looking at the CBS Sports article here, and funny enough, when all that first came out, I was seeing on that app X, which I go on to melt my brain every now and again, that they were a lot closer than that. New England was down closer to like plus 110 at one point. I don't know if that was just a certain book or
when
I think a lot of people have been hammering Seattle, I think.
Okay, maybe I lied a little bit. I know a little more about the books than I may have given off, but the books originally had the Patriots at minus 3.5. Now it's shotting up to plus 3.5.
Yeah.
And then now the books have them at plus 4.5.
I was gonna say, okay.
So that's a whole point move, which is huge in the Super Bowl contest.
Yeah,
it's not even gonna be a home favorite. So they're just saying Seattle's they're basically saying Seattle's just the overall better team when you say minus 4.5 for Seattle. Which I am
going to steer clear of all that stuff. You know me, man. I don't know if that's I'm not going to lie. Just like everybody else, when they turn 21, they like to see what all the bonus bet stuff is about on TV. But you learn pretty quickly that if you're not banned, then you're probably not doing it right. I mean, I know guys that are banned, limited, they can't even, download any of the apps anymore. And that's because they were doing it right and they did the arbitrage or whatever to get both sides. But man, the way these lines move and the way the refs make decisions in the games, I was happy to throw in the towel and give all that up, man. Look, it's still amazing to look at in terms of analyzing the game, though. It's almost better than the statistics half the time. It's if you pay attention how the lines are changing and where the money's going.
Yeah, bro. It's Super interesting.
We were just talking about the NCAA. They're getting tips all the time about money coming in. This happened on this game at this time. This happened. The UFC, Dana White just last weekend with the fight. The one dude fainted. I saw. You had said something about the fight night with that, and there was a fight that was completely canceled. It was taken off because of funky movement on the books.
Yeah.
They noticed something and they were tipped off, and that's just whew.
Yeah, the books are starting to take over.
Yeah.
All sports. Too.
Yeah. I won't be looking at that during the Super Bowl. I will be looking at the beautiful display of young defense, because we got two good defenses out there. Marcus Jones, electric returner from the Patriots. He's been getting a lot done, and every single time that he's back there for a kick, they're like, hey, this guy's got the highest average of all time return on punt. This guy's like super lethal on returns.
Defenses,
the biggest stage, I think he could break one off. You know, you never know.
As good as their defense is, I do think Seattle's defense is better.
They're number one right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they were.
I think Gonzalez, if you want to say Gonzalez on the Patriots is the best overall player between the two, the Seahawks probably have the next 7 players on the best defensive players list. Like, I think the Seattle's secondary is insane. They're filled with young guys with energy. The linebacker slide, they still got DeMarcus Lawrence putting up double-digit sacks.
You just sent me into the think tank right there. I'm like, is there anybody on Seattle that I would say is better than Christian Gonzalez? I don't know. I'm trying to think of like on Madden if they would have somebody rated higher. Like, probably not.
I think we give Gonzalez that. We have to what he's done over his young career.
But with Woolen and who they drafted, Witherspoon.
You got Witherspoon. You got
Bryant,
Kobe Bryant. You got Nick Emmanuel. How do you say his name? He's a rookie.
Emmanuel.
He's super nice.
He's really good. The Eagles were thinking about taking him, but they went with. Was that Jihad Campbell, or was that a couple years ago when we went with? No, I think maybe he got taken before it got back to us. I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was. Yeah, I'll have to look real quick, but yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job, man. And that whole Seattle, defense, I still say they played. Now, don't get me wrong, they give up a lot of big plays to the Rams, but I feel like when it mattered most, they got, their crucial stop. Some people will just say, Rams punt returner dropped it, and that's probably what lost them the game, which I wouldn't disagree with. But Seattle jumped on them. What, they start the game off 14-0 or 10-0, or I think that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
That's what a good team does. That's what a playoff team does.
That kept their run game in it all game. Didn't have to, Sam Darnold was diamond, but he didn't have to. Kenneth Walker also ran for 65 yards and out the backfield caught like 4 or 5 passes, 30-plus yards.
Yep. Charbonnet out. They got Holani in there now to back up Walker. He's a talent.
I think Holani might have a good game. I know you're not into the books, but I think Holani, just because of.
I like AJ Barner for this one.
Yeah, the tight end.
I think it's going to be a very, very close game, whether it's 14-13 or whether it's 41-40.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a close game, but man, tight ends thrive when the going gets tough, and when they're down in the red zone, they're trying to come up with something sneaky. Yeah. It's like, man, just open something up underneath for the tight end. So I think, and they like them on the tush push too. People forget about that.
Last question, just related to the sports books. Don't want to stay on it. The last few years, another player, whether it's another QB, running back, or receiver, has thrown a pass in the Super Bowl. Like more than
every time.
Yeah, like more than 2 players have thrown a pass. So, last year with the blowout, McKee came in the game. We've seen, receivers and running backs throw the ball. Do you think we'll see any trickery? Sam Darnold catching a ball somewhere. Do you think Drake May with his legs? Do they give him? Something crazy. Do you see anything like that?
I think maybe with the Patriots. Maybe Vrabel has the stones to do it. Yeah, I think McDonald's going to be out to kill.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be too animated in the first half.
Yeah, why would we give it to Sam Darnold? We could just give it to Shaheed, and he might take it 70.
So, yeah, it's more likely that we see, like, 2 Shaheed bombs than, like, a trick play, I feel like.
Right.
But, I mean, dude, Vrabel was with Belichick. He knows trickery. So, Belichick, man, what happened there?
Oh, my. I mean, if you want my true opinion, they're just not going to forgive him for the cheating scandal.
Yeah.
They're just...
What, with the wife and the young...
Oh, no. We're meaning on
I got you, though. I got him right there. He said,
I don't want to talk about that, but
he didn't. That was a joke. He didn't cheat on anybody. He just has a young girlfriend. And she was in the media, and there was like something that leaked of her like trying to control a media meeting.
And I've seen it.
The people that were supposed to advertise something, and she's like, "No, do it this way. Actually, we can do it this. I can do it this way." And it's like, okay, but yeah,
I think
they're not doing it because of that. It's because of Deflategate, probably.
You think it's just that? Also, in 07, you had Spygate. Mind you, they were caught in 07. You never know when something like that starts, too. I'm not trying to be on the defense of Belichick.
The Sean Payton.
Look at the Astros. Look at the Saints, like you said.
Yeah,
you never know how long this stuff is going on for. You just see it when they get caught.
That's true.
And mind you, one of his assistant coaches, remember, he called him out. His name is like Eric
Bieniemy?
I don't think it's Bieniemy. It was this is like 07. Because the reason I got caught is one of his former assistants actually snitched on him. Bill, the dude knew that Bill was gonna, spy on him, and he told him basically, don't spy on me or I'm telling. And Bill continued to spy on his team. Maybe it's not Eric, his name. If you could find that for me, but yeah, that's the whole story with Spygate. He had to been doing it for years. If your former OC is now a coach and he knows exactly what you've been doing, you know what I mean?
I don't have that on Eric Bieniemy. It could have been.
It's not Bieniemy.
Another assistant coach. What? Yeah, I was gonna say I got 2 cases of assault on Bieniemy.
I could find this.
Completely different there. It's we're not trying to bring up any old past things there, but we're gonna move away from the NFL a little bit. We got a whole lot of news and a whole lot of talking points coming your way in just a bit. Short ear break for a moment here. New music going in, courtesy of both Maggie, Danica, and really courtesy of everybody here at the station that's doing such a great job. So stay tuned here with us on 98.5 WNUW. Let's have a break with some Coach Ice. What you know about this?
Wow.
Kaneki, Coach Ice here on 98.5 WNUW LP Aston. The time is 3:31 p.m. We are live from the radio room here on Newman's campus. My name's Owen. I'm here with Rel today. I'm here on every single Friday at 3 o'clock. We left you with some Super Bowl chatter. We were talking about the books and the movement. And we're returning with some basketball chat because we don't want to overload you with football when there are movements being made and All-Star Week is almost upon us. Because after the All-Star break, things get serious. Yeah. You start to see some more teams trying, and then you start to see the tankers completely just, you know what I mean? So, and I love that time of year. So, recently, we'll keep it local before I talk about the 2 Mad Men from Duke facing off. I wanted to talk about the local Philadelphia 76ers. They're playing over at Xfinity Mobile's what it's called, obviously 25 minutes down the road. Coming off a crazy game the other night.
Yeah.
My suite mates actually went over there. Tyrese Maxey, left hand buzzer beater. He's the jelly. VJ is the peanut butter. Supposedly, that's what they said in their interview.
That's funny.
But, yeah, man, big win against the Sacramento Kings, who aren't really that intimidating.
No.
But
gave them a scare.
Gave us a good scare. And a lot looking good on the offensive end between not just Maxey and Edgecombe, but this guy Embiid, who, the first time we were on the air together, you were saying, it's not over, For the fans that want to give up on him, it's not over. Because I was saying he can't be a leader. You were saying he can still be a leader. He could still be the guy if he really wanted to. And we're starting to see it. So I wanted to ask you about the Sixers. Do do you hold that same belief in Embiid and the health? Do you think he'll stay healthy for the rest of the year?
That's always a big question with Embiid. Will he stay healthy? But when he's out there with this, specific team, like that's what we were talking about earlier in the year. Like, I think with this specific team, even though Embiid's, last 10 games he's been averaging like 30, I think in the playoffs they're not gonna need that. They're not gonna need it. It's gonna be very helpful. But if he's giving us 20 and 10, you have Maxey who can go for 40 like he did in that Sacramento game. You have Edgecombe, who's a ticking time bomb. Whenever PG and Embiid is not there, it's his time to shine. McCain Grimes off the bench. Oubre is back healthy. Like, this team has a lot of depth. Bona, Drummond, whoever is better for the matchup, I think that's who Coach Nick is gonna go with. I think this team could really make it out, considering there's still no Tatum. Pistons are young. Knicks.
Yep.
Knicks are up in the air. Pacers have no Halliburton.
No Tatum is huge for the Celtics.
No Halliburton, too, because they've been to the Eastern Conference Finals and Finals, just like the Celtics.
Man, I feel bad for the Pacers, man.
Yeah, I do, too.
They got some real talent on that team. But, I mean, with the Sixers' current situation, man, I can't believe that Charles Bassey is back. Every time I see his name on the roster, it just brings a smile to my face. Just so many good memories associated with the first time we got Bassey, and man, life was so good. Oh yeah, so with the Sixers though, I mean, not too great in terms of you want to see. Obviously, a lot of the fans are not happy with, hey, let's dish McCain. Hey, let's dish Edgecombe, even though the organization has already come out and said he's completely off limits, and for people to be including him in trade talks is just hilarious. You see a lot of this chatter about are these guys not performing enough? Are they going to be sent away for Giannis? I think that there's actually something here. I don't believe any of that. Is there any worry for you with Giannis possibly coming to Philly, or maybe something else happening? Maybe we grab somebody else. Is there any worry for you? Do you think that Morey would give up a piece of this core?
No,
not
it nobody. Just wouldn't be. I don't think he would make that move. McCain's early 20s, Edgecombe's early 20s. If anything, you're going to try to package a PG and Oubre. I know they're going to want someone young, but I don't think you trade a good 3-4 years for Giannis for the next 10, 15 years with the Edgecombe, Maxey, and McCain core. Even if you get rid of McCain in the future, I don't think you get rid of him now. He just was about to win Rookie of the Year last year. He's starting to get more comfortable now too. Yeah. He's had some struggles, but
cut his hair.
He's back now, and I don't know, man. This team feels different. This year is different.
It is. Remember, there's this quote that I've been saying since I started watching basketball when I would have been like, man, fourth grade I started playing. And then I was real into like those Harden, Westbrook, KD teams with like Anthony Morrow and like Perry Ellis and Serge and Nick Collison. And dude, man, I think DJ Augustine was on the Thunder at one point. But that was really fun. And ever since then, I was saying that the Sixers play ugly basketball. That's the quote. They always play ugly basketball. They can't seem to work it out. And then when they got the process going with Embiid, it was like almost when the going got tough, throw it to him and clear out. It's like, you can't have that. You ever seen the Celtics play basketball when the going gets tough? Yeah. It's like you're not going to succeed like that. So this year, man, we talked about it. It hasn't been ugly on the offensive end. It's been pretty. When Oubre does his job and he doesn't just press X right away when he gets the ball, it looks good. So I definitely agree with you there. There's definitely some potential. I don't know if this year would be the year, but it feels like I'm gaining the confidence that I once had.
They can get to the ECF. I'm not gonna say they're gonna go win the championship because I think whoever comes out the West will win.
The West is unbelievable, yeah.
But do I think they can make the ECF, be one of the top two teams in the East? I do think so.
Yeah.
And possibly make the finals. I don't think that's crazy to say.
We would need everybody firing on all cylinders. The Pistons are to a lot of everybody's surprise, 34-12 atop the East. Not mine, actually, when I saw oh, man, I was just saying I don't like to do all that other stuff. I'll just say it anyway. So, many of the friends do like a gamble. So when they were asking me about some of the NBA stuff, I was very happy to tell them to throw in the Pistons as an underdog to win the Eastern Conference Finals because the odds on them were unbelievable. So, we look here, a team that's not that young. They were young a couple of years ago. They're still young, but extremely physical.
Yeah.
Talented on the defensive end. Everybody does their job. They move like one amoeba. Right. Cade Cunningham's been bought in since day one. The guy just walks around like the Grim Reaper. Yeah, nobody wants to guard Cade Cunningham. And look at them now. So I mean, a lot of people would have pegged the Sixers for pretty much right about where they're at, like 6th, middle of the pack. But when you have a team like the Pistons leading the way, the Magic, the Hawks, two teams that everybody thought were going to have a great year this year, really not doing what they should be doing. The Cavs are 5th. They were the favorite to win the East going into this year. So you're totally right. The door is wide open. I mean, Jaylen Brown playing at an MVP level though. That's really annoying.
He's one of my favorite players. So
whoever gets matched up against Jaylen Brown in the playoffs. The way he's moving this year, he's gonna do like a LeBron to Toronto type thing. Like I think he's gonna have a couple games this year in the playoffs that are historic, like historic Celtic playoff games.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. That's
he's put the team on his back multiple games this year.
100%.
When Derek White is like shooting 1 of 9 from 3, there's like low-key a lot of stuff you have to do when your guys aren't making their shots. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's Jaylen Brown. Definitely got to keep an eye on. We're happy for the Sixers though. The Giannis maneuver. I got to ask you about Giannis. A long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, when Kevin Durant was moving from the
Thunder to Warriors?
Nets, I said he should go to Houston. And then when he went to Phoenix, I told everybody his next destination was Houston. He's here. 2 years ago, I told everybody that Giannis was going to go to Detroit. I saw the vision. Now, Detroit's first, and they already have a system. It doesn't really look right. They're like, I mean, if he went there, that would be like unbelievable.
Right.
That would be a little uncalled for.
Maybe put them over the top because I don't think they're ready yet
for
the playoffs. I don't think they win.
I don't think they're ready to like win the Eastern Conference Finals. But I think they're ready to like finish out this year and like prove a point. Going into
for sure.
Yeah. But I agree with them being young. Like you need to lose first. Like we said with the Thunder, they right before they lost to the Nuggets first, they had to lose first.
Yep, that's how it works.
That's how it goes. But
get that experience.
Likely destinations for Giannis. He's possibly on the move here. What do you think is going to happen there? Honestly, when you first saw that, what was your initial thought?
The fact that he got injured as well. I definitely don't hope that's the last memory of Giannis in a Milwaukee uniform, but I definitely think it might be. He still has a chance to come back. I think his injury will keep him out for like a month and a half, maybe 2 months. So if he does get traded, he'll be back just in time, gearing up for the playoffs. I would like to see him move, to be honest, but to get that trade off is never easy with these type of these great superstars. Like,
I just spelled that right first try.
What was that? Antetokounmpo?
His name.
Oh wow.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think I think he should be traded. He looks unhappy. He's every time they ask somebody, we'll see what happens. I'm just gonna continue to do my thing. That's what he keeps quoting. So.
And for the organization, I mean, that's never a good sign. You'd rather see him say something like, I care about this team. They've done 100%. This for me. So, I mean, he's probably getting up out of there. But he will pass the crown to Bobby Portis.
Even if
I'm just kidding. I love Bobby Portis, though. If
he doesn't get traded by the trade deadline, though, I think he probably just doesn't play the rest of the year since they're already negative.
Yeah.
And then a move happens during the offseason. Like, that may just have been his last game in Milwaukee. I wouldn't be surprised.
To be honest, I have to agree with you. I think that this could very well have been Giannis's last game in Milwaukee. That's the first thing on ESPN right now is they're curious what's going to happen at the trade deadline, but specifically they're curious about what's going to happen with Giannis. What's next for him? What's next for the Bucks? Because I mean, they don't really have. We were talking about all these other teams in the East. You know,
they got rid of Middleton. You know,
they don't really have a core as good as all those other guys.
They traded Drew Holiday, which I think they did run it back 1 year, but why not run it back again? You know, I feel like they broke up their core too fast.
Yeah, it could have helped develop this. What's Matthews?
Yeah,
it could have helped develop him on it because that's one of the holes in his game right now is keeping the pressure on the defensive side of the ball. That was the first thing that really Maxey had to deal with, and now Maxey looks real good defensively. So it's like he had that I can pull it from wherever I want, whenever I want confidence, like this kid Matthews has. But you know, if they held on to Drew Holiday, that could have helped them pass some of that defensive acumen on.
100%.
We got so lucky with it, VJ, man.
Yeah,
he's the generator is as hard as they come, man. He does not give up any ground on the defensive side of the ball whatsoever.
The Sixers have been drafting well. That's one thing you can say over during the process. You know, for the most part. Besides
two of the biggest busts in NBA history. Yeah. Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. When you get so many early ones, it's like you gotta bust eventually. Well, that didn't sound right. That didn't sound good. But but I do think they did pretty well. You know, Embiid, Simmons was good for 4 years. Markelle Fultz was a dud. You know, that's the only one they missed on. If they hit on that, they may have well been.
I was just going to say, some of the wins that came from those Ben Simmons actually trying years, you know, produced movement.
Yeah.
That our front office was able to work with.
Then you end up getting Maxey, VJ, McCain, you know.
One of my friends has a Shake Milton jersey and a Mike Scott jersey. Isn't that great?
Philly legend.
That's so good. Oh, man. I miss a bunch of those guys. Steering away from the Philadelphia 76ers, as much as we love to talk about our 76ers and the Xfinity Mobile Arena, the wonderful place that they play at right over there, man, I got a big pizza slice in there the last time I was there, and it was good. It was just so overpriced. If they dropped the price by a couple bucks, because it's a big pizza slice. It's like it would have been 2 pizza slices, right?
Basically.
They just needed a little more sauce on it and just a couple bucks off, and it would have been like, whoa, this is great value. But they scammed me. They got me. I ate it so fast.
Anytime I buy anything when I go to the, you know, watch the Sixers game, because I've been to 3 this year, I just be like, wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it. Like it's never worth it. It never is. But you know,
what app do you use to get your tickets?
Okay, so I use Ticketmaster. I think I want to say I used Ticketmaster twice, and then possibly SeatGeek.
Okay, I got Method for you. All right, I don't want to leak it on air, but there's an app out there.
No, give me one more chance. It was Ticketmaster.
No, I'm afraid you're gonna say the one. I don't want to say it on
air.
We're gonna go to break in a second here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna actually we'll just do that right now. So don't go anywhere. We got to talk about Cooper Flagg. He's been absolutely electric. I've been meaning to talk to Noah about that. I think he sent me something on the gram. But man, he's been really good. And Con Knipple, the 3-point sniper, you know, the wily Coyote Charlotte Hornets, a rowdy team. They have found a stoic 3-point sniper out of nowhere. I would have expected this guy to be more of like a obviously 3-and-D, but more of like a role player type, and he's shocking everybody.
He's next up.
We gotta talk about Con and Coop in a minute here, folks. So don't go anywhere here on 98.5 WNUW. This is some SZA and some Kendrick Lamar. They chatting. That's right. They chatting about all kinds of things, such as 98.5 WNUW LP Aston, the best cottage station around. That's right. Time is 3:52. We got a couple more minutes here with you, folks. My name's Owen. With me is Rel. We were just talking about the Super Bowl again, and that was off the air, of course. And we were talking about the NBA. We wanted to bring everyone back down to earth. The next All-Star weekend is going to be in Inglewood, California. Shout out Snoop Dogg. I bet they probably do something with him. He'll probably be.
Yeah, he'll be there.
He'll probably be there, like doing,
All LA greats will probably be there, actually.
Yeah. He's just the first one that comes to mind when I. Yeah, so that's very cool for the NBA. We are always tuning in to NBA All-Star Weekend. For me, it's the dunk contest that I like. I don't know what everybody else likes. That's always been my favorite, but
it was my favorite.
Yeah, what's the deal with the NBA? So is Mac McClung signed to a G League roster right now?
Bro.
Because if he is, then they can bring him up.
I just don't appreciate the players not caring for it anymore.
It would be
Same
better
as
if we
the
had
Pro
stars.
Bowl. Like, why the best players they're turning it down? They're just making the game worse. Like, I wish I grew up in the 90s and 2000s to watch the best players go at it. Like, that's all I really want as a basketball fan. But ever since I was alive, watching basketball, it's been dried down, and now we're doing all this other.
Change the format. There's a target score.
Like,
it's all kinds of BS, man. It's
bad.
It's difficult to watch. I mean, the dunk contest usually brings some kind of flair and pizzazz.
But the best players don't want to do that. No offense to we don't mind like someone we don't know, but we don't want.
I like a rookie or two. But I don't want four
guys who the NBA most casual fans don't know.
They just got into the league 2 years ago, and the first year they didn't play, and this year they're averaging 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like we don't want something like that.
We would rather see because I liked Castle. What was it last year? I thought he was gonna win. Thought he had a good shot, but that was a rookie. I wouldn't mind a Castle, a Zion, your random high flyer.
Zion has to do it. I mean, he just.
I don't think he's gonna do it at this point.
For nostalgia sake. I mean, you, me, countless other fans that have grown up in this ball is life era and have seen Zion on the screen for years doing these crazy dunks, and he gets to the NBA, and what does he do? He eats, gets hurt, and gets in trouble with OnlyFans models.
Yeah.
He hasn't done the dunk contest thing. That's what everybody was waiting for him
LeBron
to do.
never done it. How is that possible? We call him one of the greatest drivers of all time. He's jumped over people in game.
He's juicing up too. The steroids. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to start with all that stuff. I don't want to open a can of worms.
Yeah, I'm not. Hey, I'm hearing you when you say that too. I'll just leave it at that. But some of these great athletes and players just don't do it, and it makes it corny. In the 90s, I don't want to keep bringing that up. 90s, 2000s, I can see why NBA fans be like, yeah, the NBA was better back then. That's clear as day. And then they let them play with a little more physicality. They let them talk more. You can't talk. You can't breathe on a guy wrong without getting a technical foul. Like, it's kind of bad now. But
right, yeah. I mean, it's getting out of hand. It's very soft, and the refs have too much power. They decide what happens. I mean, the guys don't even care. They're messing around.
Literally.
Hopefully, the guys in the Rising Stars will try a little bit. Obviously, we talked about Cooper Flagg and Con Knippel before the break. They have been absolutely electric. He had a 49-point eruption, which is the record for teenage scorers in the NBA. 49, man. A 50 ball from this kid.
Yeah.
I wonder what that bet was on Poly Market. How long before he gets 40? How long before he gets 50? Holy cow. And Con Knippel,
I was watching that game live.
Con Knippel had 30. Yes, I don't need to tell you. 34. And they steal the road win. What was your biggest takeaway from that game? Obviously, everybody's talking about the big Duke clash, but is there anything else that you saw in that game from one of those two guys that impressed you?
Oh, from those guys specifically, yeah, they duked it out. You know what I'm saying?
Very good, Rel. Very good. I didn't see that come. I guess I kind of laid that up for you there.
Yeah, they did their thing, man. I wish he got 50. I hate the 49s though. Yeah. I hate 39. I hate 29. Yeah. It just seems like you're right there.
39 and 49 especially. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, come on, man. But he did basically everything he could have to try to get his team this win. I think the Hornets just all around played better. LaMelo had a good game. Miles Bridges had a good game.
Shot chucker when LaMelo is making those shots.
Yeah, I think everyone just kind of had a good night. So Con, his 32?
34. He
34. Made it was pretty good for him to win the game.
Good enough, definitely. I mean, they have a lot of young talent in Charlotte, but I was saying earlier, I said Wile E. Coyote was the words I used to describe them. They got some, they got some crazy Crazy guys on that team. I remember Kai Jones. He would have been perfect for what's going on with that squad right now. He was hilarious, dude. He was so funny. Yeah. Anyway, so Charlotte definitely has some bright stars alongside Concanapple with LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller, and obviously Dallas, with Cooper Flagg, and also Max Christie is shooting like 47% from three, which is higher than anybody ever has in Mavs history. So
he's either gonna have 15 to 20 or 2. That's what I realized. Yeah. That's what I realized with him.
And there's only one way you find that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You get frustrated with him. Is he blacklisted? He's no longer.
No,
he's not. He's still.
I don't touch the Mavericks unless his last name is Flagg. I try not to touch anyone else.
Yeah, man. PJ Washington, such a fraud. That takes me back to when before. Don't even get me started.
You never knew how many minutes AD would play.
Made of glass. Yeah, he's glass, man. I feel
bad
for Anthony
Davis. I hope he gets moved though too, because he doesn't want to be there clearly, and he's still trying to win. I don't think he wants to rebuild. He's in a difficult
position. I feel bad for Anthony Davis the second that Luka thing hit. Luka ESPN notification real quick before we finish up here that when it first happened, Luka gets sent to the Mavericks, and I'm thinking, who the heck? And I open up AD. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, the Mavericks, by the grace of the basketball gods, snuck out the number 1 pick with Cooper Flagg. But them getting Anthony Davis, I was like, that's doomed from the start, that situation. Isn't Derek Lively hurt?
Yeah.
Something happened to him? Is he done for the year?
He's out for the year.
Yeah, it's like the whole situation.
Nuke
the team. Yeah.
The only guy who's probably not, feeling that bad is Clay. He's an older vet. I don't think he hates his decision, though. He don't like how the Warriors treated him on the back end. Now he's happily in a relationship, and I'm sure he's happy.
That's going to do it for us today on 98.5 WNUW, but tune in next week at 3 p.m. to hear my weekend kickstart. All right, enjoy your weekend, everybody.